My name is Jessica Murphy and I am working as a production designer in CSU's 2014 Sprung Festival Locked Out. Set in Australia, 1999, Locked Out is a 30-minute semi-devised farce where 4 eccentric characters are locked out of a drug and rehabilitation clinic. My role as production designer includes the design and construction of the set, but also the design and sourcing of costumes of the 4 characters. The initial design brief that was given to me was to fully utilize the grunge aspect of the 1990s. The set was to be a dank, derelict, and an abandoned part of the rehabilitation centre. However, Locked Out was chosen to be a site-specific play, utilising one of the buildings on Charles Sturt University campus, Cunningham House. So my challenge as a designer was to adapt and dress this site-specific piece. As Locked Out was a university production, it was vital to design these elements at a minimal budget. However, this does not mean that design will be any less. You just need to know how to utilize the resources around you. Places like junkyards and thrift shops are great to acquire your props and costumes for a reasonable price. This especially helped me for my design, as these stores gave off an aged look, perfect for a play set in the 1990s. As a designer, you are encouraged by your directors to dream big, but to also work within your restrictions. My initial design concept was to completely surround the audience with wired fencing to give the impression that they, like the characters, felt trapped. However, due to budgeting and safety reasons, I was unable to fulfill this design. This taught me how to cut back and to adapt to a new design that, instead of surrounding the audience, had only 2 walls producing from either side of the building. This gave the illusion that it was a rehab center, but also that it drew your eyes to the action on the stage. Design also includes researching into the time and place of where your play is set. Much of my research for the set went into looking at 1990s architecture, especially rehabilitation centers in Australia. In this research, I came across a lot of barbed wire fencing. However, I felt this gave off a captive environment rather than a place of recovery. So, because the design concept was grunge, I wanted to design something that was between the two. And so, all I did was simply add bricks to the fencing. My design concept for costuming was helped by an assistant designer, Bryony, who happened to play Sylvie, one of the characters in the play. As she was a part of the rehearsal process, Bryony gave me insight into the style and development of each character. Sylvie's character was influenced from the TV show Saved by the Bell and was designed to wear a daggy 1980s sweatsuit. This was contrasted to the character Lolly, who was more of a hardcore grunge character, inspired by bands like Nirvana, who wore a leather jacket and ripped jeans. Bernie, a more docile character, was designed to wear overalls with a striped turtleneck to give off a childlike persona. And Frankie, the lead, was based from Claire Danes' character from My So-Called Life, someone who was always in constant struggle. Once all my resources came together, it was time to add and define detail. The CSU workshop, run and helped by Carl Sheed, gave me great assistance in putting all of this into place. Here I was taught a number of new skills, such as using heavy machinery to cut wood, learning how to create texture in painting realistic bricks, pulling apart TVs, recovering chairs, and breaking down objects with spray paint to give them an aged look. One of my challenges in putting the set together was sourcing the cement blocks to help the fencing stand up. Luckily, we found a company that was willing to donate the blocks, which was very fortunate. Design was a fantastic role to explore, and I would recommend it for anyone with an artistic vision. It is the creative side of the production team, and you begin to understand the elements of theatre that can draw it all together. If there was one bit of advice I could give to anyone looking at design, it would be to keep a diary with you on all times so that you can visually show your director where you're at and where your design is up to. It can also help you explore and create new ideas that you didn't even know were there.